Oh my
Hey,
Lord,
Rick,
look
how
at
are you?
He
this.
knows what he's doing.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, I can tell I'm already going to be in love with this one right here. Look at that.
And I heard a rumor that you liked both.
Yeah,
so-
that rumor is not false. I promise you, that rumor is not false. Look at this. Oh Lord. Okay, thank you so much for making the time. I really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
And one of the things I want to stress is that each of my guests today are coming from Narragansett. So yes, this is summer, and remember, it is an incredibly busy time. So to make the drive, and it is a drive, being the Rhode Islander now, it is a drive to come down here, is that I appreciate you guys making the time to do this. So thank you very much again.
Well,
for
we have no
joining.
traffic in Narragansett.
That's right.
That's just a rumor. It's
That's
only in
true.
Providence.
So we were talking about, this is, Bogle is a wine that I'm fond of. Let's talk about the one that you brought here today.
Well, this is a Bogle blend. It's California wine, and it's got Zinfandel, it's got the Syrah, it's got the Cabernet. It's a nice blend. It's got a little smoke to it. It's a delicious wine.
So I'll tell you about the smoke in a second. So as you've all found out over numerous segments now, is that I'm an equal opportunity wine drinker. Red wine, white wine, doesn't matter, rosé. As long as it's wine and it fits into a glass, I'm in good shape. So I'll definitely tell us a little bit this. There you are, sir. Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate you making the time.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you can smell the smokiness right on there. As I like to say, there's nothing wrong with that. So you bought two incredible dishes that are making me beyond mouth-watering hungry right now. So let's talk about what you brought, and then I want to
Sure.
talk about the style of your menu.
Absolutely.
So what do we have here?
Absolutely. This is what we call the lazy man lobster. The reason it's lazy is there's no crackers. You have a fork and an appetite. That's really all you need here. It's a
Perfect.
pound-and-a-half lobster. We get them, fresh off the dock down in Galilee.
Right.
I mean,
See, that's another awesome point for him to understand. This, you can't get any fresher than that.
The seafood that we get down there, and I got to give a shout out to Narragansett Bay Lobster. They do a fantastic job of supplying us with fish, lobsters, everything. The day boat scallops. I mean, sometimes the delivery will be running a little late. I get a little nervous. I'm like,
But you know where it's
where's
coming
my
from.
order? And he goes, well, I'm still waiting for the boat to come in. And as
Right.
soon as it gets off that boat,
So
it's
you-
on the dock.
So
and
you hear
it's-
that? He's
and
waiting
it's-
for the
it's in
boat
the
to come in. Again, proof positive. You can't get any fresher than that.
But
So
now
this
the
is a pound and a half.
This is a pound and a half lobster.
Okay.
What we do is we take the claws off, we boil them, we pick the meat, we put the meat inside with scallops and shrimp. So it's fully loaded, ready to go. Our seafood stuffing, he's got maybe about 15 different ingredients in there, so I can't really
Really?
tell you all the secrets.
The secret ingredients.
One of the secret ingredients I can tell you is pineapple juice. Adds a little
Really?
sweetness to it. But we have farm fresh vegetables. We don't buy anything frozen. Our freezer is almost non-existent. We keep ice cream in there.
Nice.
Even
It's a
our
good thing to put in there.
even French fries. We hand cut our own fries. So
Really?
most everything that we do is fresh from nearby farms. This dish over here is ossobuco. This is pork shank. This is slow roasted. They cook this, I want to say, 7 or 8 hours in
Unbelievable.
an alto sham, and they cook it so it's fall off the bone tender.
So I'm going to let another little secret out here, the meats dishes. So you guys have heard me talk about some guests I brought in duck for me before, and I've gone crazy. This is my singular favorite. I would eat this over steak any day of the week. I'm an ossobuco
Yeah.
fan to no end. This
Might as
is
well, sure,
absolutely beautiful.
sure.
What is on the side here? We got potatoes?
No, these are carrots. These
Carrots?
are multicolored carrots. Yeah, he did.
Unbelievable.
Now they do.
Oh, it's sitting on
and,
the-
and a lot. I know a lot of restaurants they'll use farm fresh. We do as well. I mean,
Excellent.
you gotta buy the stuff from the farms that are growing in your towns. You know what I mean? You really have to support the towns. Any of the agricultures, either farming or fishing, or that's what sustains.
I'm so glad that you said that. So this is an excellent point, is that the locally sourced, and we've talked about this before on different segments, and we brought people in. You can't get any fresher, like we've talked about right here with the seafood. Farm Fresh, I want to give them a nice round of applause and a big shout out. You just mentioned
Very
that a lot of
popular.
restaurants use that. I truthfully feel that not enough restaurants use that. I think that more people should reach out to them and talk about what their expertise is and what they have, because you're supporting a company that is locally based and making sure that you have the freshest ingredients out there. So
Right.
kudos
Oh,
to you and your team
absolutely.
that you're doing that, because that is a huge component to supporting our economy, to be honest with you,
Right.
and making sure you have the freshest
Yeah.
ingredients. So these are two opposite ends of the world from dishes there. So
Right.
it's, you've got
Absolutely.
that steak, meat side of things,
Mhm.
and the seafood, and that's kind of the theme for your menu, right?
Well, this time of the year, we've got a lot of salads. We've got a lot of different salads. Everybody's eating a little bit lighter, so we've got the seasonal salads.
Right.
With the berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and we've got a blackened tuna salad that we do as well. very popular this time of the year.
Black and tuna. That's
Black and tuna, yeah, and you have it
good.
cooked to your temperature. You want it medium rare, which I highly prefer, or rare. But we do have people that want it cooked a little more well done, but yeah, we do that as well.
So you got the salads that you're talking about for the
Yes.
summer. Has the
Sure.
menu changed? Was there a new menu
We
for the summer? that
we
came out?
change. We probably do about 4 or 5 menus a year.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's seasonal.
So it's more than seasonal, that's
It's
fine,
well,
right?
it's seasonal. When certain things become available, we'll change with the styles. So we do lunch and specials daily, also every day.
So it's
Dinner
lunch- is
specials
it lunch and
day.
dinner every day?
Lunch and dinner every day.
Okay.
Every day but Thanksgiving and Christmas. Stay home, be with your families
So
on that
again,
day.
but this is another point. Another great
Right.
restaurant that's open year round. And an
Year
important
round.
part to understand is that you can do that. Now, Mariner's been out there a long time, right?
About 11 years now.
11
yeah.
years.
11 years. this
So
August.
you've heard me talk about like the definition of a legacy restaurant,
Mhm.
someone that makes it past the 7-year mark, because this industry is not an easy industry to conquer. And 11 years, you put yourself in that category. You're at this legacy stage where
Right.
you've made it that long, and in a community where you are dealing with seasonality.
Yeah.
That comes down there. So.
Oh yeah, well, bulging at the seams now, which is great.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you get a rain shower today, and they're all off the beach.
Right, they're
They'll be
coming in there, and
which
it's,
will be great.
So you guys like the rain a little bit. So let's talk about the Mariner and describe me. So you mentioned that you're open for lunch and dinner. Let's give me a little bit of a visual of the restaurant, if you could.
Sure,
please.
sure. We just last year we revamped our main dining room.
Okay.
We lightened it up, brightened it up a little bit more. We put a new set of stairs that go to our function room upstairs. We have a function room upstairs, fits about 60 people up there.
So you can do private events for 60 guys.
Absolutely. Birthday parties,
Yeah.
wedding rehearsals, Christmas parties. I know nobody's thinking about Christmas just yet, but
It's not too early to start, I can tell you that's
it's right
true.
around, it's right around the corner. It actually makes you feel good.
We're in the
thinking
middle
about
of July already. Unbelievable.
So we have private stairway that goes up to there now.
Okay.
We closed it off so it's a little bit quieter upstairs, so you're separated from the main dining room downstairs. It used to be an open air
Okay.
balcony type thing, but now we've got it all closed off, so there's more privacy for your events upstairs. And then we've got a bar area that fits, 80 or
It's a
so
big
people.
bar.
It's
You
a
have a-
large bar,
yeah.
big U-shaped bar with, high tops around. And some of the friendliest bartenders in town.
No, and I was talking about bars earlier, because this is a lot of what I like to do is I go and I enjoy sitting at the bar and doing the people watching, and your bar is perfect for that.
Yes.
I mean, the people that, most of my friends that are down there are locals, if you will, that frequent your place.
If you come in during the daytime, it's like the Cheers bar. Everybody,
That-
hey
I was
Norm!
just- I was just gonna say that.
Everybody knows
walked-
everybody.
I walked in with my friend Jim, and the bartender knew him, and that's what she did. She went, "Hey Jim!"
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So it's so funny
Yeah.
that you mentioned that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and you're right. You've got like the circle, or not the circle, but the lining of the high tops that are beyond there for people to eat. So it's
Sure.
another great place to sit
Sure.
and enjoy it.
And then we do live entertainment. They're Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday in the afternoon at 4:30, Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and that right after the dinner crowd starts to weed out, they tend to turn the volume up a little bit and get the place going. a
Is there
little
outside
bit.
dining? I don't remember if I saw
There
that.
is not
Okay,
outside
I didn't
dining.
know
No,
if I
we
saw it.
don't.
So location-wise, describe the location of where you guys.
We're at 140 Point Judith Road in Narragansett. You have to drive right by the restaurant to get to Galilee, to get to the Block Island Ferry, to get to Scarborough Beach, any of the beaches down there. We're right along the way, so very convenient, very easy to get
I
to.
was just gonna use the word community. So it's that
Yeah.
location, it's not a hard thing for you to find, and if you're going to any of those areas, like you said, it's almost like you bump into where you live.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So the private party thing was one of the questions that I had.
Mhm.
And then another question that I had that was presented to me, and I think I want to make sure it was about the name. So where did the name Mariner come from?
Well, I was one of the original owners and the executive chef when we first opened.
So see, he knows
And
what he's talking about.
So I have a little experience there.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just came to me. We were in Mariner Square. I said, Mariner Grill. What a great, Mariner, you're thinking seafood. It's the first thing you
Absolutely.
think of when
Right.
you think of Mariner.
Right.
But then I've got 2 teenage daughters. The restaurant business is crazy. I got out of it for a little while.
Okay.
I took a little sabbatical, as it were. And then they called me up, and Mike wanted me to come back and, run the place. I'm the general manager. I brought my right-hand man, Chef Artur, who does a fantastic job with the food there.
Well, Chef,
And-
congratulations with these
and-
menus.
And,
You're doing
he
well.
runs a tight ship, and he does a great job down there.
So what's the seating capacity overall of the restaurant?
Well, like I said, we've got room for 60 upstairs,
Right.
and then downstairs overall, between the bar and both dining rooms, probably about 185.
So you're one of the larger spaces.
Yeah, we're pretty good size, yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know it by looking at us.
Yeah, because to me, again,
It's
coming to the
deceiving.
bar, it's deceiving.
A
yeah.
lot of people who
Right.
come in and eat dinner won't even know about the room upstairs, because
I didn't.
it's
Yeah.
it's kind of boxed off a little bit, but it's,
So that brings up a good point. So again, someone that has been there and has been out there to enjoy it, I didn't know about that room. So in talking about these points, and you know, one of the things I try to push out is the education of the restaurants that we're talking to on these weekly segments is that you've now heard from 3 different places that are available for private events and going down there. And they're year-round, which is even more important. So I wouldn't have known. I mean, sitting
Right.
down there, I wouldn't have known.
I mean, if you've only got 20 people, that's fine.
Right.
You know, you don't have to have 60 people to use our room upstairs. We'll
So-
set it aside for you.
I'm really glad that you mentioned that you were that you know both ends, you know, the
Mhm.
kitchen and
Sure.
at the back of the house and the front of the house, as we call it in the restaurant business. So from that perspective, before we get into the menu and talking about your dishes and stuff,
Mhm.
wine perspective, you brought a great wine today
Sure.
that I love. How important, because you do have a big tourism base, we've talked about this
Mhm.
before with guests, is that Narragansett this time of year has that tourism base. How important is your beverage program to what you're trying to do to your guests?
Well, we do swap out our wines. I mean, we don't have a clear-cut wine list that we stick with all year long.
Okay.
Well, depending on the food, the seasonal food that we're doing, we'll bring different wines in to pair
match
up,
up to
to
those,
match
yeah.
up, to match up to the flavors, right? And I've got my floor manager, Ryan, he's good at pairing up wines, you know, and he'll speak with the chef and talk about, you know, what we're planning on doing in the fall, and, you know, kind of being proactive and being ready for it ahead of time, and then, you know, we'll move and adjust going according to that.
So to me, that's being the wine enthusiast that I am, that's fantastic. So the
Mhm.
opportunity that you're changing
Sure.
up those wines to
Yeah.
match what you're saying is going
Yeah.
on with your menu.
Yeah, and we'll do wine specials as well, drink specials as well. We've always got, you know, at the bar, we've always got an infused vodka of some sort for martinis. You know,
Nothing wrong with
everybody's
that.
doing the watermelon martini, which is great, but we also do like a, you know, blueberry, kiwi, pineapple infused vodka that they make martinis out of as well.
God.
But yeah, it's always variety, it's always trying to do something different, you know, spice it up a little bit, some way, shape, or form.
So event-wise, I mean, you guys have the entertainment.
Mhm.
Do you have your own
Sure.
events that you posted in-house for the restaurant?
We've done wine dinners in the past, but we've also got, now coming up in Narragansett is the Calamari Festival.
That's right.
That's coming up September 9th, I believe it is, at the Towers in
And you guys are
Narragansett.
participating.
Oh, yeah.
So as the season winds down, there's all these great events in the fall that you can start to work to. And I say fall, but September's not really fall. So you guys are one of the participants in that.
Oh, yeah. We do calamari 3 different ways. We do a Greek calamari, we do a balsamic calamari, and of course, the traditional Rhode Island calamari with the pepper rings and the cocktail
Oh,
sauce.
God, that's
But
awesome.
at the Calamari Festival, I want to say 12 restaurants, I believe, will be there. And
Not that many, so it's really a qualified group of people.
Well, it's a big tent. There's quite a few people there. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to say we cooked 150 pounds of calamari last year.
But from a restaurant
200
perspective,
pounds.
that's
Oh, yeah.
a lot more people than restaurants coming
Oh,
in to
yeah.
participate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, locally sourced, you mentioned that you've got the stuff that's coming in
Mhm.
right off the boats down there.
Mhm.
Is this a priority for you guys to spread that economic impact and work locally year-round?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And from that impact to size of it, I mean, you've got a great seating capacity, you have a staffing perspective of it. You have to have a decent-sized staff to handle it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's always a challenge, but yes,
It's finding
you're
the
always,
staff,
yeah,
right?
well, definitely ramp up more in the seasonal. So, you know, it's great that we get a lot of college kids that come back, you know, from school.
Right.
And spend the summer here, which is great because it's, you know, they're young, they're energetic, they want to make a buck. So it's great to tap into that as well.
So yesterday I had a great group of hoteliers on me, and we were talking about the economic impact of hotels and tourism. And this
Sure.
falls, restaurants fall in the tourism industry for that umbrella. So in talking about the staffing perspective, is that it's another important thing to realize, and this is why I wanted Narragansett to be highlighted, is that they give back to the community on a regular basis. Not only are they hiring employees that are job creators out there, but they're also talking about the fact of working with these local purveyors and infusing back into the community.
Right, absolutely.
And I know this time of year, we've highlighted that it's a lot more tourism driven, that people
Mhm.
are out there, but I gotta imagine, and I mean, I've been to your restaurant September and October.
Sure.
So I've gotta, from my perspective of seeing is that you've got a great local base, you've got people to know it, but
Yes.
now for people that are from the cities or from coming out here, this is one of those destinations that you need to make sure that you're visiting. It's just as gorgeous to go in the fall and the winter.
Oh, Narragansett is
And-
great any time of the year.
Right.
Any time of the year.
So, I want to go to the couple last quick questions that I've been asking everyone, because I love this perspective, and the listeners like to hear this, is that you brought two beautiful dishes. You have a wonderful menu that you're putting out there. You've been in the kitchen,
Sure.
and you've been in the front of the house. What would you say from your perspective, and it's, like I said, it's been a two-part question, is what are some of the things that you would recommend that guests don't miss that are on your menu? And the other part of the question is, being that you've been in the kitchen and prepared things, what are something you think that it's fun that you prepare, that you are familiar with?
Fun, yeah.
That it's one of your favorites.
I would say
ingredient-wise.
one of our favorite appetizers and most popular appetizers is the scallops and bacon.
Oh,
We take
God.
hand
You just hit my stomach.
hand cut sliced pork belly with the dayboat scallops, pan seared.
There's nothing that doesn't go good with bacon.
With a chipotle aioli, and they cut up Granny Smith matchsticks to put over the top. It's absolutely delicious. Now, for me, personally, I love to do saute.
I can't get off the scallops, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, the
Saute.
pork belly is a very popular item. I mean, we have it on the wedge salad. We also do a BLT risotto, which has got
BLT risotto?
yeah, with scallops, pan-seared scallops again with
Okay.
a tomato and spinach risotto,
Oh.
with the pork belly also on top.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do more than sit at the bar next time I go down there, okay.
Yeah,
All right, so now for you, I'm sorry, I
More-
interrupted him, but I was like.
more hours in the gym. That's all
Yeah,
that-
exactly. I need to find more shirts like this, more of the slimming shirts.
Yeah.
So now to you, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, for me, saute is the most fun. I mean,
Really?
oh yeah, I love having 10 or 15 pans flaming, and if you put alcohol for the flames,
Yeah.
you put a little cream in it, and scallops or seafood or lobster, people will love it.
So sauteing
People-
seafood items
oh,
is
yeah,
part of your favorite to do.
Yeah, sauteing seafood, absolutely.
Awesome. So we covered some awesome things, and again, I appreciate you making the time to come down here. I would strongly suggest is that if you haven't been to the Marriott yet, that you look out for it to try to make sure you get there. But also September, it's not that far off. As much as I hate saying that, it's not that far off to think about going to the Calamari Festival. And I went a couple years ago. I forget how many years they've been doing it now, but I think it was 2 years ago that I attended. And for some reason, probably just because all the fun I was having, I didn't realize it was absolutely more people, but I didn't realize it was only a handful of you. I mean, think about it, a dozen
Yeah.
restaurants participating.
Yeah.
It's a select group that is chosen. So it's nice to hear that you are one of the participants
Yes.
that are taking part of that. So, Paul, thank you very much for making the time to come in today. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.